the image of the perfect housewife who kept a spotless home, had her husband's dinner ready as soon as he walked through the door from work, and single-handedly raised the children while still always managing to look fashionable and beautiful is a well-known stereotype from the 1950s. In May of 1955, Housekeeping Monthly published an article entitled "The Good Wife's Guide," detailing all the ways that a wife should act and how best she can be a partner to her husband and a mother to her children. It may feel a little strange to accept these rules today, but it remains so interesting to see how we as society once behaved.
Number 10.
Have dinner ready. Plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal ready, on time for his return from work or a day out with other men. This is a way of letting him know that you have been thinking about him and are concerned about his needs. Most men are hungry when they come home, and the prospect of a good meal, especially his favorite dish, is part of the warm welcome needed. Some of the examples of recipes located in a 1950s cookbook: French onion Salisbury steaks, old-fashioned split pea soup with ham bone, brownie and candy cane ice cream, tuna noodle casserole. Do you think you could make any one of these from scratch on a weekday nowadays?
Number 9.
Prepare yourself for your husband's arrival home. Take 15 minutes to rest, so you'll be refreshed when he arrives. Touch up your makeup, put a ribbon in your hair, and be fresh looking. He has just been with a lot of work-weary people. Be a little happier and a little more interesting for him. His boring day may need a lift, and one of your duties is to provide it.
Number 8.
Clear away the clutter. Make one last trip through the main part of the house just before your husband arrives. Gather up school books, toys, paper, etc., and then run a dust cloth over the tables. Having a clean and well-put-together home was very important to housewives in the 1950s, and they generally spent a lot more time cleaning than we do now. It was, in general, most women's full-time job, and they took it seriously. Of course, not all situations for women were the same, but overall women were more likely to be full-time housewives, and that meant a lot of cleaning. The time women spent cleaning is one of the reasons many think women were so much thinner in the 1950s. They spent a lot of hours on their feet every day, cleaning and doing other housework.
Number 7.
Prepare the children. Take a few minutes to wash the children's hands and faces if they are small. Comb their hair, and, if necessary, change their clothes. Children are little treasures, and he would like to see them playing the part. Minimize all noise. At the time of his arrival, eliminate all noise of the washer, dryer, or vacuum. Try to encourage the children to be quiet. The housewife didn't parent her children, she raised them. In other words, she didn't focus on giving them an idyllic childhood, but rather focused on training them up into productive, conscientious, capable citizens.
We are on our way to number 6, but before we get there, don't forget to click that subscribe button, then like our video and share it with your friends. It helps the channel out and lets us know you like us. Thanks for watching.
Number 6.
Be happy to see him. Free him with a warm smile and show sincerity in your desire to please him. Listen to him. You may have a dozen important things to tell him, but the moment of his arrival is not the time. Let him talk first. Remember, his topics of conversation are more important than yours. Don't greet him with complaints and problems. Over the cooler months of the year, you should prepare and light a fire for him to unwind by. Your husband will feel he has reached a haven of rest and order, and it will give you a lift too. After all, catering for his comfort will provide you with immense personal satisfaction. Your goal: try to make sure your home is a place of peace, order, and tranquility where your husband can renew himself in body and spirit.
Number 5.
Make the evening his. Never complain if he comes home late or goes out to dinner or other places of entertainment without you. Instead, try to understand his world of strain and pressure and his very real need to be at home and relax. Don't complain if he's late home for dinner or even if he stays out all night. Count this as minor compared to what he might have gone through that day.
Number 4.
Make him comfortable. Have him lean back in a comfortable chair, or have him lie down in the bedroom. Have a cool or warm drink ready for him. Arrange his pillow, and offer to take off his shoes. Speak in a low, soothing, and pleasant voice. Slippers in his favorite chair with a drink of his choice is never a bad idea either.
Number 3.
Don't ask him questions about his actions or question his judgment or integrity. Remember, he is the master of the house, and as such will always exercise his will with fairness and truthfulness. You have no right to question him. A good wife always knows her place.
Number 2.
The vast majority of stay-at-home wives were given a sum from their husband's weekly pay and were expected to run the house, feed and clothe themselves, and later the children. Out of it, a housewife in the 1950s wouldn't go to just one store, but would have to go to several shops, including the butcher, greengrocer, grocer, baker, and the dairy. In many places, there would also be a fishmonger and a pharmacist. In some households, the man handed over his pay to his wife, who then gave him back what amounted to his pocket money. Others allotted varying amounts into tins or jars to cover the rent, bills for the utilities, insurance policies, or to pay regular installments on essential items, such as the gas cooker, mortgage, car payments, phone. Another receptacle was earmarked for storing the money needed to feed the gas and electricity utilities.
Number 1.
Oddly enough, despite the many claims of unhappiness among women in the 50s, many millennials are now turning their young faces towards the vintage housewife lifestyle, opting out of their lucrative careers to tend to their homes, husbands, and children. Much like their grandmothers, feminists around the globe might consider this shift to be a win for the patriarchy. However, the difference between these new retro-savvy women and those who lived through the 50s is that they are choosing to stay at home. The traditional wife movement on social media is a type of traditional form of being a wife and mother. They usually stay at home and exclusively take care of the children and the home and show off their prowess in the domestic arts. These are real women who seem to have traveled through time, having revisited the 50s and brought some elements of that era into the present day. They're a subculture of housewives, and they are proud to be homemakers. You can find them on most social media sites by searching trad wife.